Don't miss out on the Big Break Moment reality show season 2, Rep Your Campus. Starting 1st of December 2023 to the 7th of January 2024. Showing Mondays to Sundays on DSTV channel 315 and channel 91 on GoTV. Time 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the mornings and 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the evenings. The Sunday live show kicks off by 7 p.m. every Sunday. And you can catch every second of the reality experience live on YouTube at the Big Break Moment TV.
You dey act, or you dey dance, and you dey sing. Rep your campus.
Hello students, my name is Basi and I am your talent coach. The Big Break Moment is here. This book, The Big Break, Birth of a Star, is our talent Bible that will guide your experiences in the house. Visit our social media handles for more information. It is time to rep your campus.
Merry Christmas. How was your Christmas rice and chicken?
It was so nice.
It was so nice. Okay, sit down. I think it's okay. Try this. I love the burgundy. That's burgundy or wine. The two shades are very close. Sometimes they confuse me, but I love the color of your hair though, and the brows. Nice. How you all doing? Yeah? Cool. So you're ready for the book review? So I'm really happy. This is the last part of the book review. Yes, for us to come this far and be concluding it today. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Your own things are always different. The mind, action, and results. Who can say what their favorite part of the book review has been so far? The mind. Actually, same for me. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the results. After you've, programmed your mind for success, you've put in the necessary work, the necessary action, now it's time for the results. Let me read something here. As a Nigerian youth who is determined to succeed, your definition of success must be different and properly defined without any prejudice of vanities. The average Nigerian youth may think that success is all about making enough money to buy a Mercedes-Benz. Benz gang, raise up your hands. I don't have plenty Benz gangs in this. What's a favorite car?
Go away.
Huh? It's still under the Benz family. It's still under the Mercedes family, yeah. A lot of you raise up your hands. I was surprised, Anyway, enough money to buy a Mercedes or maybe to build a house for your family. They can think this way, but not you. Your big break demands a higher definition. Now, what does it mean to succeed? Who wants to start? To you, as an individual, because we all know success is more of a personal thing, just like I always say. What does it mean to succeed? Right.
Thank you so much for your
You're welcome.
Okay, so what does it mean to succeed? To me, I actually believe that success is not a destination. You don't just say, I've succeeded and then you go and rest. Even Dangote is still striving to get more.
Yeah.
So I believe success is in stages. So what I take success to be is setting a goal and accomplishing it, setting a goal and going, and that's what I call success.
All right.
Success to me is finding happiness at the peak of what you're doing.
I like that.
Okay, success for me is impacting lives. All right?
Impacting lives.
It's enough to have money, but when you touch people, for me, that's when it's becomes success. Thank you.
Success for me, to succeed is very hard, right? To
Yeah.
succeed is for me is gaining what you've actually had in mind to do. I mean, after creating use success strategies and applying the creative plan in everything. So gaining the final stuff that you have imagined, this is what I'm getting.
All right.
What do you miss?
For me, success, just like the big break, is when you bring imaginations to reality. I think that is the summary of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like that. All right, let's take something from the book. It said, just like we've all said, because right now each one of us gave a personal definition of what it means to succeed. Here, the book says each person has a different definition of success. You can permit yourself to be okay with not fitting into other people's definitions of success. Success is a subjective idea. Your ability to define and create a success will serve as a model for your entire life. Creating your success strategy allows you to be creative. It allows you to, explore, to go beyond, what other people could think or imagine. Because if you put yourself in a box and you're trying to succeed based on other people's ideas, you're not going to be creative enough. You have a lot of ideas in your head, but you won't be able to carry them out because you're trying to do what other people think you should be doing, not what you really want to do. Does anyone else want to say something about that? Okay, moving forward. How to recognize your success. Who read that part? All right, if it's Terry.
Okay. So how to recognize your success is basically for me just being in my space, having to just, like what you said initially, having to, okay, let me use this place for an instance. So in this place of mine, I'm subtracting everybody here and their opinion because I'm mainly focused on that goal. So once I'm able to do that, for me, that's how I recognize that, okay, I'm already doing what I'm supposed to do. Exactly what is happening. So yesterday, I'm going to use that example. I was talking to Mola and I had so many things going on in my mind, but she said something and I felt it today, like I am in just that present. I'm appreciating every single day rather than thinking of the future or the past. So I'm working towards something, but I'm appreciating every moment, which is the way I understand now, yes, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
All right. Hey.
Okay, so how one tends to recognize their own success is when you have been able to remove someone else from your own picture. As per, if someone defines his own path, you do not now follow the path, you follow your own path. And also another thing again is also be in the moment. If you can be able to remove what you see ahead of you and what has happened to you in the past and be able to say, okay, this is what is happening now, how do I push past this level? Now you recognize you're on the path to that route.
There are certain persons that have probably missed their own success story or missed what they actually meant to do. Because maybe they came to a scenario whereby they saw persons that look like they are ahead of them. So they tend to want to fit into that person's category and like, I want to be like this person. Forgetting that the person doesn't look like you. I mean, you have your own story to tell. So it's not by following some particular person, it's standing on your own. This is how you recognize your own. But it doesn't still mean that you're staying in your own privacy. I mean, you still have to be around persons. Yeah. But just know what, like one of the visitors we were having, so one gave an idea about going into many kinds of business and then finding one that will suit you. So trying out things actually will find the one that your heart speaks for most. That's what you should go for.
Basically, how to recognize your success. I feel it's finding yourself, like I said, maybe bringing imagination into reality, your own imagination. Stop comparing to other people's own, filtering the noise and comparison, something like that.
Filtering the noise, I like that.
Yeah. I mean, just focus on the moment where you are right now. Forget about the future. Don't worry about it. Let's use the word don't worry. Don't worry about the future. Try to live in the present. It's when you've made the present beautiful that the future can be beautiful. All right? Forget about the mistakes you've made in the past and just focus on the present. What is now? Thank you.
So I feel recognizing your success is like this part that says
is probably like me now is to establish an orphan. What do I need to do at that point in time? Is to go to people that I know have established an orphanage before, learn from them, know their challenges during those process, and make sure that during my own establishment, I don't make that mistake. So it's like learning from their own mistake. People used to say something that experience is the best teacher. To me, I feel other people's experience is actually the best teacher because you learn from the mistakes they've made and avoid it. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take one more person. Karen. All right.
So a lot of people that are trying to become millionaires, trying to have money, let's say you have a business, for example. People tell you, let's use a tattoo business. People tell you, oh, start from this, start from the lowest point until you get to that point. But there was this friend of mine, I'm going to use my friend, he had a tattoo business and everybody was like, because he was not so good at school. So everybody was like, oh, you're this, you're that, you're this, you can never be this. But he didn't listen to anybody. And when he started, he didn't give this, oh, because I don't know how to do this, my prices are going to be low. He kept his price because he knew the value he was bringing. He knew that he was bringing good products. He knew that he would not just carry any kind of ink to put on people's body. And today he's a celebrity tattoo artist. Like, you have to know the value you're bringing. Like, a lot of people will tell him, oh, your prices are too expensive. He'll tell you, he will even like refer you, oh, you can use this person. Because he knows the value he's bringing to the market. He knows that with his product, you cannot come tomorrow and complain about certain things, skin reaction and all of that. So I feel like you knowing what you bring to the table is is you knowing what your success story is going to be like. He knew that he's going to be bringing the best, and he knew what his success story was going to be like. So he believed the process, even when people were talking about him, like a lot of bashes, he didn't really pay attention. He just followed the process, and now like he's there. So yeah.
All right, thank you very much. So let's move on to growing from success, which is the last part of the chapter 18. So you're putting yourself in a position to succeed when you use the knowledge you have acquired in your daily life. As a person, you can develop and advance in so many ways. Now, here it says the world's most prosperous people didn't succeed in their endeavors overnight. They had to study, comprehend, replicate, practice, fail, recover, and most importantly, have faith in the process. Nifiteri, wake up. The biggest failures in life often lead to the biggest successes. You are already one step ahead of the game if you can change your perspective on failure. And now that brings us to the chapter, failure. This failure part is actually one of my, that should actually be my favorite part about this chapter, this part 3 of the book. Because in as much as, yes, we have the formula for success now and we are ready to put in the work and, do all we can, do all it takes. I need to stand. And do all it takes to succeed. It doesn't mean that the first thing you try to do the moment you leave the dream house, you're going to succeed at it. That's just the truth. Let me be very honest with you. You might have the biggest formula for success, but it just doesn't work at that first try. So how you embrace that failure and grow from it is going to determine the next phase of your life. Are you going to drown in the fact that, oh, I'm sad, I'm unhappy, it didn't work out, after all I did, you're crying from morning till night, you're depressed, you're not eating, you're listening with, oh, the world is moving, oh. You're doing yourself, not anybody. So the way you handle failure is actually going to determine if you would succeed in life. So who wants to talk about this part? Okay, I like that.
Okay, so I took some parts that I really felt were important in the book. So this part that I read, there are several scenarios where mistakes are inevitable and you're allowed to give yourself a break. I feel we've been told so much times as African kids that you've made mistake, move on, next thing. But the truth is that as mistakes are mistakes, it's not easy to just get through them. But if you ever need a break, take that break, but realize that the world is going to continue. But give yourself that break to process what is happening. Another thing I took very important was setback. Okay, so I feel that we've had several situations where, in our lives personally, where we feel like we've done something and it didn't work. There's this idea that, more, I don't try. It's just like when I started animation. and I was making mistake when I was trying to make my Mickey Mouse head, I would just drop it and say, oh, I'm not doing this thing again because I'm trying. Every other person is doing it well. And that's where timing comes in. Because the way you process learning, the way you process doing things is different from my processes. So if I keep allowing those setbacks push me down, that's failure. But if I keep moving forward, it's success. So failure is mostly the definition you give to it. That's where mind comes to play. So everything goes on in your head.
Yeah. Before we continue, the book says something here. When we fail, we learn, grow, and prosper. We develop fresh viewpoints on the environment we live in. Failure challenges people to take big risks and pushes them outside of their comfort zone. The significance of failing is this: failure is a learning curve for success. You.
Okay, for me, what I understand by failure is, first of all, failure is something you cannot avoid. In one way or the other, it's called either in small things or in big things. But the question is, how do you handle it? Yeah. Mentally, I've grown to understand that most things I want may not come the way I want it, and I'm okay with that. So mentally, I've already asked myself, what's next? So this book, I actually love this chapter very well because I think failure is something that deals with our mental health a lot. Deals with our mental a lot. Especially when you see your mate succeeding and you're not succeeding, and you know that you're putting in your best. Yeah. You know you're good, but then it's not working, and you're asking yourself why. So for me, I don't really see it as failure. I just see that it's not yet my time. You get. So, but when something like that happened, like what people said, they said, what's next? What would you do next? First of all, you need to be mentally flexible. Like I said, next thing, I don't dwell on my failure. That's one thing about me. When I do something and it's not accepted, although I'll feel bad, I'm human. But the next thing I'll be like, how do I come in again? And that's how it has been helping me. Then the second thing is learn from others. Like she said, learn from others. I've learned from my mom. I've learned from most of people here when they speak. I learned some things from them, and I try to use that to work in my own favor, and it's helping me. So simply, that's what failure means for me.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So the thing is, success is very sweet. But what happens to people is when you succeed, probably not everybody learns from any experience from that. But when you fail at something, you have to now have a talk with yourself. What did I do wrong? So it's to say that failure is a teacher, and it's a very good teacher because it makes you go back to the processes in which you have done it, and now you now need to now figure out that particular point where it went wrong in the first place. Now, everybody is bound to do something that they want to succeed at, but we should all understand it's a 50-50 chance of either working or failing. And if it works, are you going to just move on to the next thing? Yes. But if it fails, are you going to come back to reason with yourself and understand where it went wrong so you can patch those holes, that when you come back again to it, it's as smooth as that, and even gives you more room for greater achievements. But we all say that the greatest people that have done some certain things that we enjoy now, they failed at it at a lot of times for us to now succeed in it.
All right, thank you. How to handle failure? Yes.
Okay, I feel, from my perspective, that in life you need many character traits, many traits that you need to acquire in order to build yourself from some kind of things. Like failure is not easy thing, honestly speaking. Something that will actually train you, make you think. It might even, it has ended many people's career. I think there's a part in the book that says, it was talking about someone who tried something about 10,000 times and only got 1,000, something like that. But imagine someone that tried something 10,000 times. So there's some traits, you have to have the discipline of patience, some kind of things you should have. Failure, to handle failure means you need to train your mind, to train yourself, yourself as a human being. There's a way you should be. When you fail, bounce back and walk again. I mean, that's not the end of life. It's not as if you died. And failure is not only losing a particular sum of money to a project or something. It can be anything. And it won't be in this house, might be anywhere. So anything can count to failure, but the reaction after the failure.
It's what matters. Thank you. Yeah, the book talks about 4 things on how to handle failure. Self-compassion. It says there's a distinction between acknowledging failure and punishing yourself for it. So when you fail at something, just acknowledge the fact that, yes, I failed. Don't punish yourself for it, because that's where the problem comes in. Mental flexibility. Be ready to make a swift transition to fresh opportunities after failing. Don't dwell. Yes, take some time to, give yourself a break, really, to process the entire thing that happened. But don't dwell on it. Don't sink deep into it. Fresh opportunities. Think, what's next? What's the next step? What am I going to do next to, put myself back on track towards that end goal that I have in mind? Growth mindset, and then problem solving. Stay imaginative and interested. Gather information to guide decisions and future actions. So that brings us to chapter 20, how to grow from failure. Who wants to talk about this? All right.
To grow from failure, you must first of all accept that you've actually failed.
Yeah.
Now, accepting that you failed is actually very hard. Because all of us have been talking, just pick up your bed and walk. It's actually hard to pick up your bed and walk. Because imagine somebody that has lost over, let's use money for instance, because it means when you lose money nowadays, it's like, imagine somebody that lost over $1 billion. And you're telling, bro, just pick up your bed and walk. It's hard. But you picking up your bed and walk is actually the first step to growing from failure. So just acknowledge that you failed. Number 2, consider what went wrong. Now, before you fail, there must actually be something that you didn't do right. Start calculating from there. What did I do wrong? Which pattern did I take? And now, when you've accepted that, then it will take me back to the other chapter. Don't hate yourself for your failure. All right? Because the minute you start hating yourself, you get depressed. Yeah. And you may never rise again. So instead of taking your bed and taking your bed and walk, you may just lie down on the bed.
Sleep on this.
And
I could go rest. I don't try.
So that's just it for me.
I cannot come and kill myself. All right.
All right. To be able to go from success, you need to be surrounded with people of particular mindset. Because when you fail, there's a way you feel. And if you're not surrounded by the right persons, like to talk to you, to help you see the light of where you failed, you can actually get stuck there.
Okay.
I think one of the most important things is when one fails, one shouldn't, as he said, one shouldn't be there. But this is one thing that we should understand. Look for people, look for support, speak to somebody. Don't just dwell with yourself and say that, what did I just do wrong? You yourself, you might not get the clear picture. But when I talk to somebody, I might just be discussing with you, and you might say something that might kick in. And I'm like, so that was where it went wrong somewhere. Then maybe I can now further explain to you what went wrong, and you might also have an idea for me. That's the reason why each and every one of us is like, we need each other here, because if you find out, and it has happened to all of us almost every time, when you talk to somebody at random, you find that your next excel in a task or something that you might think you are not doing it well might just come from a random talk from somebody. Maybe someone was just saying big, 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 big. Maybe you just needed to get that word big for something that you'd be like, bro, thank you very much. Maybe like, what did I do? You said nothing, don't worry. Yeah. Maybe if you want to now go more clearer, I had this thing that I think I didn't do well, but when you said this thing, it came to me. And that person gives you more ideas. And you are like, yeah, I got it right. So we need everybody. You need to look for people to support you in your own idea. You are not just there alone. You are there for you, but you need other people there to guide you in order to achieve more.
All right, Queen.
I would say for you not to fail or for you to grow from failure, you have to set achievable goals so that you don't end up doing things you're supposed to do in the next 5 years. You want to do it within 1 year, and I think it can lead to failure and heartbreak for anybody. So for you to avoid or manage it, you have to follow step by step. Like, okay, let me say you want to cook now, you want to boil rice. Then instead of you parboiling, or you just want to put everything once and then wait, definitely there's a test that you want that you will not achieve at the end. So for you to manage or grow from it, you have to set things that are actually actualizable or you can actualize.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I want to move on from that particular point. I'm going to recycling your ideas. Here it says everything requires trial and error. If your first plan doesn't work, make another plan. That doesn't mean you have to change your end goal. It's still the same goal, but now you're just trying to find a different road. You're trying to drive to somewhere. You want to get to Area 10, UTC, and there's a lot of hold up at Area 1 bridge. Abuja people can relate, at Area 1 under bridge. And now you're thinking, what next? What's the next route I can follow? Should I divert, go towards Area 3 junction? It's a longer route, you know, bus through, yeah, from Area 3, you can connect all the way to Area 10. It's like going round instead of the straight road. But if the straight, shorter road is blocked, you might as well just go round. It's still taking you to the end goal. Don't change the focus, but just change your plans. You still need to focus on the future that you have envisioned. It is like a destination with different routes. Of course, some routes would not be easy and some routes will be perilous. At the end of the day, getting to that end goal is what will determine whether or not all your actions have been worth it. Does anyone want to talk about this? Okay.
For me, I'll take a rap line ahead from Jaco's song, Love Yours. He said, there's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. Recycling your ideas, because you have a particular goal you're aiming for and things are not going as planned, it doesn't mean you shouldn't still shoot for your main target. Like for me, when I started my music career, I think virtually every creative or every music artist they were thinking, okay, after my first 3 hit jams, I'll be everywhere. You understand? But it didn't happen that way. Then I started to understand that for you to actually get your songs to go far, you need to have start promotions, you need to start doing other things. And I don't have the money for that. What do I now do? Because I don't have the money doesn't mean I should stop being a music artist. What I turned to was how to monetize my music, how to start making revenue from other sources of income. So for me, recycling your ideas is just revolving around that context. You have a goal, you have something to achieve. It doesn't mean that because maybe Graham's format went directly to that success point, means you too must force your way. You must force your way to have it that way. There are other routes. There's one thing I always say, the world is a marketplace and everybody is selling what they have. And you just have to find another way of selling your product. We have a lot of brands that do noodles in Nigeria, but each of these brands have particular people who patronize them, and that's how it works. For me, if you're on a journey to success, recycling your ideas revolves around you being able to find other routes of selling yourself to the world.
Okay, thank you. So that brings us to chapter 21. What not to do. Who actually read this chapter? Like you read. Do you want to talk about it? All right. Yeah, you.
So, what not to do basically, things that you shouldn't do when you fail. So, I used today as today's experience. So today when we were upstairs shooting, I remember they were asking us that, is this what you practiced? Is this what you did? And then Skiddes was about to answer. And my love was here. She was like, don't make any excuse. We cannot make any excuse with this. And I was like, that's the point. That's one thing not to do. Don't make excuses for yourself. Don't start doing this thing where you get to be like, or try to feel flat. Don't just do anything that would limit you at that point because you feel like you failed. Don't just put yourself in a situation. It's more of like, okay, I failed, focus. So that's what, it's just like things that you shouldn't do to just give yourself assurance.
Okay, all right. Anyone else?
So I'm going to add what Nifi said. Excuses. You don't need to make excuses. Like, example, you say you want to do something today in the morning by 6, then you find out that that moment, sleep has taken you to somewhere, you say, we still have extra day tomorrow now, let me just leave it for today. You're already making way for failure. So we need to be focused and make sure that you don't give excuses to the road to your success, because time is not on our side. And normally we say the time you keep for yourself is different from what God has kept for you. Fine. So what you need to do now, based on you don't know what life can give to you, sometimes your planning might not be what comes in later. So what you need to do now is just to keep pushing and leave the rest, just that your eyes should be on where you're going to.
Eyes on the goal.
Eyes on the goals.
So apart from talking about making excuses, I also want to talk about being intimidated by success. I can merge both of them together, because, for example, there's like a dance academy I joined in school, and in that dance academy they have a performance team, and that performance team is is just 4 boys that are there. So I always want to be in the performance team. I don't want to follow them and be carrying their bags, carrying their shoes, like when I just started. So the first excuse I made for myself was that I was a girl. But I decided to change, because I know that whenever they are going to perform, they always do different kind of stunts, and they were like, if you cannot do anyone, you cannot join them because you'll not be, spontaneous and all that. So the first thing I did was to make sure I wasn't intimidated by what they were doing. I decided to try to learn. They said, Rita, you cannot learn this knee drop. You break your knee. I said, I will do it. I said, people cannot tell me. They say I'm a girl. I cannot do it. I said, I will do it. And I did it. I actually broke my knee, but I did it. So for 2 years, 2 to 3 years, I was like the only girl in the performance team until now, not here yet.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
At this point of failure, one of the things you don't need to do is not seeking inspiration. Because basically, like I said earlier, when you fall, there's this state you go into, and it's usually very dark. So you need things to inspire you. As an artist, while you're drawing, you can actually draw like normally, basically, but you need inspirations. There are songs you play that give you the vibe, they give you the originality, perception to what you want to do. So when you fail, when you're down at that spot, you need inspiration through people, through books, through ideas to bring you up.
Okay, thank you. So, I need to move on. Yeah, I'm working with time. So let's move on to why people fail. All right.
Why people fail? I'll talk about absence of discipline. Discipline is actually one of the core when focusing on a goal, because at success stage or when achieving success, you tend to find out that when the challenges come, if you are not disciplined, you won't be able to handle it, and you just give up easily at that point in time. So you need to be very, very disciplined and have that mindset that anything can come and I should be able to actually handle it. Thank you.
All right.
If you want to do something and you are not prepared for it, the best advice is not to go into it at all. I mean, you have to have an experience of this thing, even if not an experience, at least a level of preparation for what you know you want to go into. Because if you don't prepare for that thing, when you fall, you're very, very loud. I have a friend that wanted to do this comedy show like that. When he told me the plans he had and everything, I look at him and say, guy, I was beating him because from the way I know him, it's not something he will handle with just that little while, plus the date he fixed. So during the show, like, he paid me to do an answer. I came around to support my Gina. So I came there. And my reality was, I missed the show. They for kill him. Like, we were going on different things. Just the show stage was how to keep return the money except that he paid me to even support. Like, if not, even people were not there for you, they for Peter and there. So you get some kind of like lack of preparation on some things. I mean, it's not a must. You must maybe see Flyman went to Korea or something. Yeah, to go and dance. And me, I still in Nigeria. I'm not going to say police are going to Korea.
I never even know how you go there. The guy, I don't even know what the audition is. I don't know. I just say I must go Korea. Come, can you play? He might just go Korea. I can't define where it is. Like get some kind of things. It's not because just specifically there. Can't they try go there?
Yeah.
So just calm down small. Your time to come.
All right, thank you. Lack of preparation. If you have a lower chance of succeeding in life if you don't have a good plan. Anyone else?
I don't think it's actually following this book, but it was in the other chapter. There's this thing we usually do when someone is about to perform. You hear someone saying, relax, take your time. Paranoia. How to say that?
Paranoia.
Yes. First of all, you need to calm down, take a chill before you do something. Because when you're too hyped about it, like when you're too anxious about it, you end up not being okay. So I feel, and it actually connects to failure because we're not relaxed, we're tense about something, we're trying to make sure that everything is in order. You might end up missing a step, you might end up missing something. And then when it's time for you to perform, you're lost. So I feel, first thing is to take a chill pill. Doesn't make fire, just relax yourself. And then when it's time for you to perform, you see how calmly and how perfectly you're going to perfect that.
All right, thank you.
For me, I'll speak about inability to network. This is one fundamental aspect that many creatives don't pay attention to. And for me, coming up, that was one aspect I really, really majored in. I tried to establish relationships with people. But now, in this context of this book now, they said if you don't spend time cultivating enduring bonds, now the word enduring bonds is where I would emphasize on enduring bonds. It means that you may meet people, there are certain people you meet who have very bad characters. They are in fact, they are not the type of people you want to normally meet on a very good day, but because you want to network with them, because you want something from them, because you want to create a relationship where you can sell out what you have to them, you have to be able to endure. You have to be able to understand the context of how they think and how they operate. And I feel to network is one ability many creatives don't have, because one of the things one of the deficiency many of us have is that sense of pride, that sense of arrogance that, okay, I've been in this thing for 10 years, nobody can tell me, so with or without this person, I can make it. Not knowing that when there are certain phases when you come through, you need people. There's nobody that can actually make it on your own. Yeah. So the inability to network is also a reason to why many people fail at achieving their dreams.
All right.
The most important thing that these people have seen so far is humility. Now, that stuff is also in the Bible. The Bible tells you that for you to be able to achieve something, you just have to be humble. Now, when you want something, even if you think you have all the things that you have to get that particular thing, there's a certain way that you carry yourself to a certain level, not saying that you are less of yourself, but a certain way you can be able to attend to something in a certain way that can make even the next person recommend to another person. Now, in going out there, let's say for example, so if you are being given something to do and maybe you know it, or you do not know it, or you just have a beef with somebody and you don't even know it, being humble enough to even approach that your enemy and say, please, can you help me? It's enough to even get you past that first step that you are even trying to take. Being humble enough is one of the biggest thing ever in this book. And that's one thing like I really love, and I want to stand for every day. Because even if I know it, I still know I don't know it, because another person's idea can help me even buttress my own idea more. So I have to just take myself down to a level and come to you and say, please, can you help me? And if you help me, trust me, I'm there.
All right. Humility is actually very essential to success. I think a lot of we young people do not realize this. We just think, I beg, am I a child? I finished school, I'm in final year. You want to tell me that I don't know? Yeah, a lot of things you don't know, my dear. That's the truth. You see, that pride thing, it will make you miss out on a lot of opportunities. Like, there are certain people now that I know I can never recommend for anything. I'll be like, I don't want to go stress you. Like, people that act bigger than even their helpers. Many people want to help you, but they're just saying like, this one passed my power. I don't know if you ever heard someone say, this one passed my power. pride goeth before a fall. I believe that's in the Bible. Just bring yourself down. It might be way high up there, but trust me, once you know that you have a target in mind, you have a goal, you have that thing that you want to achieve, bring yourself down. That's one thing I learned from Boss Lady Law. Boss Lady Law, see, humility, if you want to get on Boss Lady Law, let me give you one secret now. You see that pride, that's the part where it gets, throw it away. Throw it into the dustbin. In fact, Atlantic Ocean, so you never see it again. Boss Lady hates proud people. You see her as wealthy and as made as she is. Boss Lady is humble. And that is one thing she also expects from others. If you just come and you want to come and form this and this, and she'll just ignore. She'll just as if she did not see you. She'll do as if she didn't notice what you did, but she has already taken note of it. And you won't be in her good books anymore. Pride goeth before a fall. Bring yourself down, no matter how big you think you are. No matter how big you think, because even the people you feel are the biggest people also have people that they mellow for. They might not do it in public, you will not know, but they do. So never ever think, oh, I've arrived, I'm the biggest girl, I'm the this, what do you want to tell me? Ain't got shit, tell me. See, I pity you. Refusal to heed counsel. Does anyone want to talk about this? Okay.
All right, refusal to heed counsel. Something, there's a line that goes like, where would I be if it wasn't for the men before me? So basically, there are people that have tried out what you want to try or what you're about to try. So as in, show respect where it's due. That's where humility comes in. So always ask, always get advice, always understand that there's a council of people you can go down to and get ideas that can actually help transform your life.
All right, thank you very much. And that brings us to chapter 22, the second to last chapter, what not to do. Who wants to talk about this? Okay.
Okay, what not to do? The first thing she talked about is rejection. To me, I see rejection today as a blessing, because for the fact that you're rejected, before somebody will tell you, for instance, you go for an audition and they tell you, sorry, it's a no for me. Before, even as much as they will tell you it's a no, they will give you tips. Maybe you were not projecting enough, you were not singing properly or stuff like that. You will be able to use those ideas when next you're going for another audition. If you get rejected there again, you will have experience, you will have tips on what to do to be able to improve yourself. So don't see rejection as a setback, as a stage to stop in life. See rejection as a blessing. See it as a correction. See it as a tool to be able to improve, to get to your desired, what do you call it, goal or attainable goal. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm coming. Yeah, it says, if you think about it, rejection is just a form of failure. Rejection is a severe cut to the heart because it directly wounds your pride. Being rejected hurts a great deal. Many people would choose physical discomfort over rejection. This rejection, and the funny thing about this rejection part is that if you think about it, this one is not just in career alone. Let's talk about relationships. Guys, have you ever liked someone like in your mind? You feel like, see, I'm the best person for this person. Who can be better than me for this person? You get it, as in, but laugh. They just give you one kind of breakfast that you think about it for like 1 week and you still can't understand. Why did this person tell me it can't work? Why was I rejected? And you feel so hot. You feel tears. You cry. This one when they say cry me a river. You cry a river, but you just have to move past it. That's the truth. You have to move past it. Yes, give yourself time to mourn. I'll use the word mourn because a lot of something, regardless whether it's life or not, you can mourn it. You can mourn a lost relationship. Give yourself that time to actually, mourn that phase and, just cleanse it from your system, then move on. Karen.
Rejection, yeah. I used to be very scared of rejection, like to be rejected. I'll be like, why did they not pick me? Why? why am I the one that has to go to get? But when I came here, I actually learned a lot of things from this house. Like when I came here, I learned something from Dr. Osi and the boss lady. She said during her service, she went to places and they threw her out. That's rejection. I used to tell myself, I would rather not go. I would rather die than be rejected. Like that pride would call me like, no, rather than them say no, I will not go to this place. But I was speaking to someone recent, like I think on Friday after the party, and I was like, I will go. Because of what they've told, like what she said, I will go. I will go to that place. If they reject me, it's just to be embarrassed in that particular situation. I will go to another place. If they reject me there, I will still go to another place, because somewhere, like, you can't go to like 20 places and one person, everybody will reject you. Someone will say, oh, this person is trying to do something, and let me pick. The fact that she had the courage to come here is enough. So rejection, sometimes I feel like people should accept rejection, accept the fact that, oh, people do not like you, accept the fact that people don't see what you see in yourself. But sometimes we do certain things, and when people talk, like, you want to see yourself as superior. That one, I understand the part where people, but when it comes to rejection, like work parts, please, I will go. If you pursue me, I will come back. If you chase me, I'll keep coming to you, accept
That's
me.
the
So,
truth.
yeah.
There's something my pastor likes to say. He says, what's the worst that can happen? The worst you get is a no. And that thing actually has helped me over the years. There are times when I want to make a move towards something. I'm like, there's just this feeling, you're already feeling embarrassed in advance for the rejection. But I just remember, the worst I can get is a no, last. Nobody will come to my house and beat me. The fact, yes, you just tell me, no, it's not possible, no, it can't work, no, you're not fit for the role, finish. That is it. And if you just, it puts me in a mood, for a day or two, and that's the end. But what if I had tried and it worked? So we shouldn't let the thought of being rejected limit us from pursuing our goals. Now let's move on to benefits of rejection. It says, rejection forces us to reevaluate our goals. Rejection offers chances for improvement. Rejection teaches endurance. And rejection makes us more resilient. Who wants to talk about this before we move to the last chapter? Okay.
All right. Rejection helps us, offers us chances for improvement. Now, during the audition for Big Break Moment, after I acted, somebody asked the question. It was like, have you ever been rejected? Have they ever told you no in an audition? I said, yes, wallahi, they have. But that would not stop me.
Yeah.
I would still keep pushing. Now, if you go for something, most people will tell you, you can never make it. You are not born for this. But I think that offers you, that's like your drive for you to improve. And that's where you take what they are saying and you're putting it into your work and you see yourself improving. Yeah. Now, when I started acting, when I decided to take it personal, that I'm born for this. When I decided to take it personal, somebody told me, oh my God, if you go far, past 1 year, you're never going to make it. Funny enough, I think it's like the third or fourth year. and that was because I did something and everybody was like, oh, this is too fake, guy. But that was when I decided to take from what they were saying and how to improve on that aspect. And I feel that's like my strongest point. That's my strongest point in acting.
Thank you. Now, we are moving on to chapter 23, setting your standards. Too many times we have seen celebrities fall from grace due to scandals, addiction, or even crime. It creates such dust and people talk about them for weeks. That you have become successful doesn't mean you should abandon the morals and values that got you there in the first place. Who wants to talk about this?
When you're inside, you have the right to cry, you have the right to do everything you want to do. But when you're outside there, be careful. People are watching what you say, what you do, and they use against you and come and talk. But basically, your image matters a lot, especially in a situation whereby you're lucky enough to find yourself in a spotlight. Although it's not easy, you might get carried away at some point, but reminding yourself that whatever you do, people are watching you, and there are people who are looking up to you. You get, you might not intentionally harm them, but with what you're doing, they are copying that, and that might harm them. So you just need to be observant of the steady thing of what you say.
Oh, okay. In this part where it says maintain your integrity, today it is anticipated that each person will adhere to their values and views. The public information linked to your name ought to confirm that. By doing this, you will avoid being passed over for promotions and job openings. Anyone who upholds their ethical standards will continue to be open to fantastic chances in the future. What you do today, see, trust me, it's going to be there forever. Most especially if you put it out there. I don't know if you've heard, the internet never forgets. Yes. It might just be one drunk night with your girlies in the hostel and you're twerking with your pant and bra and somebody that you didn't think was recording records and posts on Snapchat, and then it's, you know, it's all over the internet. And you have some huge opportunity tomorrow and you miss out on it. Why did Vanessa Williams, why was she dropped from the Miss America crown? She was Miss American 19, was it 1980 or 1980 something? She actually did a photo shoot before that pageant. She took nude pictures with a photographer. Now, at that time, I'm sure she didn't even think of contesting for Miss America. She was a black woman that people were so happy that she won, and, you know, and people were looking up to her. And that photographer, I think it was white. So after she won, after some time, the pictures came out. They released it. And you know how things were much more strict back then. If it's right now, in this 2023, I think they might be able to cover up and overlook it and, oh, she was young, she was this, she was that. But in the 80s, life was much different, trust me. She was actually dethroned. She didn't complete her reign because of that one thing. It scarred her name, it scarred her career throughout. I mean, I'm happy she was able to, you know, bounce back and she was doing great stuff from them, but I can only imagine the mental space she was in back then, being dethroned from Miss America because of nude pictures they took a few years before that. Let's all be mindful of, you know, what we do and how we do it. And like you said, maintain your integrity. Just because you feel you've achieved a certain thing doesn't mean you should just sleep. Oh, I beg, I'm a big girl now, what does it matter? I don't know if you've heard of some of these celebrities that, I mean, you won't call names, but I'm sure you know there are people that were popping before that are not popping again. Yeah. In fact, I remember what I was just with my friends, and one of them mentioned someone like, it's true, this person still there. I honestly asked if the person was still alive, not out of insult, because I really wanted, because I didn't have that name in years. And this is someone that everyone was talking about at a certain time. The fact that you've gotten to a certain point doesn't mean you should stop putting in the work that you used to get to that particular point. It only means it's time to work harder, guy. Dangote is out every day. Tony Elumelu is out every single day, working on all the different businesses that he owns. Now, let's move on to the conclusion of the book. I'm so happy. Who else is happy? Make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. Okay. Conclusion, guys. Tried 23 chapters and now the conclusion. Okay. Here it says everyone wants to be a big deal. That's the truth. There's nobody that just wants to be mediocre. Nobody wants to be the person that, you know, people don't take serious. The person that people don't value. Everyone wants to be a big deal, whether they admit it or not. Achieving success takes time. It can be quite a perilous journey that not everyone may complete their circle in this lifetime. That's the truth. Yeah. Some may begin the race only for their children to complete it for them. While some others will not only succeed, but also have a successor. Which of these two do you want to be? It's something you need to sit down and have a personal reflection. Do you want to be the person that will hang at some point and like, my children go complete and that's what I not achieve, maybe they do them. Or do you want to be the one that will not just achieve, but also have a successor to continue the name, to continue the brand, to, you know, keep pushing, to keep building on that legacy that you started? Now, what happens next? What happens once we achieve our dreams and goals? What do we do next? Relax or pursue another objective? Just like what I said before now. Pursue another objective. Keep pushing. Just because you want the Big Break Moment Africa doesn't mean I've arrived. You go back to your campus, you're just chilling. You're not even thinking about, oh, what project should I talk to the brand about? You know, that can push me and the brand to the next level. Which people can I collaborate with that will put me in the limelight and, you know, and keep me in people's mouths for longer? You know, what's the next thing I can do? Okay, what's this thing that I can put this money in that would give me 100% turnover in the next 1 year when I'm handing over? You just go and relax. I don't make them. You want to be balling with the big boys on campus. Your money will finish in one night. You want to bam bam. So here it says, you cannot simply accomplish your objective and cease all activities. To keep your success, you must put in your best efforts. The reason successful people like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and others at the top is not that they do one major thing, but rather that they continuously keep developing and moving forward. These are not to scare you, but they are rather to empower you for the coming days ahead and give you a realistic mental picture of all you will face on your way to your big break. Taking every nugget to the heart is arming yourself for the days coming. The best you can do is to study this book over and over again, keeping its words closer to your eyes. And now I ask, now that you know what it takes to get your big break, what are you going to do about it? Okay, everyone will answer this question. What are you going to do about it?
First of all, I'll keep pushing.
Keep pushing. Okay. You? Implement everything you've learned. Okay. You? You? Okay. Not only know, but do. Okay.
I'll keep pushing and keep putting my eyes on the goal irrespective of the challenges.
Okay.
Have a deep reflection and always try to learn as much as I can, no matter where I go.
Support by voting to keep them in the dream house until the grand finale. You can vote for your chosen candidate in this easy steps. First, visit the website www.thebigbreakmoment.com. Click on the Dream House on the menu navigation, or if you're on mobile, click the menu navigation at the top of the website and click the Dream House. Look for your favorite contestant and select the number of votes you want to give them. It's Rep Your Campus season, and there can only be one winner.